Hello, welcome to Microfiche Microphone. I'm Micah, and on this channel we look at microfiche from the past, old newspaper articles in the public domain. We look at them with our modern eyes, our modern perspective, and see what we can learn from them. On this microfiche time capsule, we are looking at the Ladies' Home Journal from February 1884, and our article today is called A Mother's Mistake. I don't know what it is about yet. I haven't read it, so I'm interested to find out together if this is something we can learn something from. So, this little fellow is getting a bit tyrannical, said a mother laughingly as she lifted a plump baby boy of 14 months from his cradle. He thinks he cannot sleep unless his face is pillowed close to mine, and his day naps, which he usually takes in his cradle and consequently is denied this privilege, have grown so short they can hardly be called naps. Why not accustom him to sleeping in a crib close by you at night, now that he has grown so large and stout, I suggested, and then he will not miss your presence during the forenoon naps, and thus secure long, restful ones. Oh, I cannot think of turning Bertie off for another year at least, was her answer. I do not believe I could sleep a wink myself if I did not have him curled in my arms with his breath on my cheek. He has grown to be such a little tyrant he does not allow Mamma to even turn her face away from his when he is awake. I assure you, Bertie and I are the best of friends, are we not, my precious baby boy? And with kiss after kiss on his rosy pouting lips, the fond mother caressed and frolicked with her little boy, till his surly, sleepy little face flashed with sunny smiles. This one baby had come to my friend late in her life, and it was not strange she almost idolized the noble little fellow. But there is something I want to tell her, but have not as yet found either words or courage to do so. I want to tell her that she has very bad decaying teeth, with a catarrhal breath that is disgustingly offensive, and it cannot be healthy for her baby to receive so many kisses on his sweet dewy lips from her ill-smelling ones. This is where this is going? Or to sleep where he must breathe each of her own polluted respirations. Oh my gosh. I did not see that coming. Sorry. That is not what I thought they were. I thought they were trying to talk about her spoiling her child. Wow. Does not allow me to even turn my face from his during his wakeful night hours? The words seemed horrible to me, when, in our conversation, I caught broad glimpses of yellowed, ulcerated gums, a mouthful of ugly, decaying teeth, and the room's atmosphere grew thick and fetid with the breath that for 20 years had been growing more and more polluted with a neglected and incurable catarrhal disease. I think that sweet, rosy little fellow in her lap sucked, as it were, his breath from her lips, night after night. Such an awful, terrible breath it must be. Jeez. What? I don't even know what to say to this. Should you not expect the seeds of disease were already drawn into his system after breathing for 14 months such a loathsome atmosphere? We cannot be too careful of the sensitive lungs, the tender throats, and easily inflamed bronchial tubes of our little children. Purity, purity, purity of air is my first, second, and third prescription for all diseases, said an old physician. If we have no other legacy to leave our children, let us do all that lies in maternal power to bequeath them this best of all inheritances, a sound, pure mind in a sound body. Clarissa Potter. Really? This was not at all what I was expecting. I actually thought they were going to the point of how important it is for children to be independent and learn independence. 14 months is pretty young. I mean, you could still co-sleep if you wanted, I guess, as long as you're doing it safely. I don't really feel like she's doing it safely if she insists on, like, basically breathing on him constantly. So I kind of doubt that there is any real safety concerns even being taken into account. So that concerns me a little bit. But I don't know if I would have gone to the direction of she has bad breath, because no matter how it smells, the baby is going to be used to it, and it's not going to bother the baby until the child is quite a bit older. Saying that it's bad for the baby to smell their mother's breath because it stinks. I don't think it would be harmful for the child. I just don't think it would be harmful. This was the age of miasma, though. Like, I know that they thought that disease was caused by bad smells. I'm going to look up that word, catarrhal. and make sure that I know what it means. Inflammation of the mucous membrane in humans or animals, especially when chronically affecting the human nose and air passages, is an exudate of inflamed mucous membranes in one of the airways or cavities of the body, usually in reference to the throat or paranasal sinuses, like a sinus infection. But I don't think she has a sinus infection. It sounds to me more like she has a lot of cavities that they were unable to treat. I'm also guessing that she had quite a bit of tartar buildup, which can cause bad breath. So that's my best guess. But seriously, like, there weren't that many good dentists back then. There wasn't really tons of good dental hygiene. So what do you want her to do about it? You know what I mean? I know you need to brush your teeth, and I'm pretty sure they did at this point, but there weren't that many options to improve this. This is basically something out of her control at this point. So what do you want her to do? And like, a baby smelling bad breath all the time, if it really bothered the baby would turn away from it. I think that the point of saying, you know, pure air for babies is the most important is definitely not justified in this case. It is more about, like, not breathing smoke on the baby. Yeah, that's important. Having bad breath, I'm pretty sure doesn't hurt the baby. You know, I'm just going to Google that really quickly just because this is such a weird thing to say. I'm not quite sure what to say about it. So we're going to ask Google, does bad breath affect a baby? Conclusions. Halitosis may be a problem in some healthy children, but it does not correlate well with mother's breath, odor, or common oral parameters. The organoleptic, and CBA results were inconsistent, suggesting factors other than VSCs may be associated with halitosis in children. Okay, do babies develop tolerance for their parents' bad breath? This is from Quora. Okay, babies don't seem to have an innate distaste for bad smells. In my limited experience, that seems something that comes much later. Okay, that's all it says. That's kind of dumb. Like, you can give me a little more information. Okay, brushing for 2, how your oral health affects baby. That sounds interesting. This is from healthychildren.org. Being a mommy in the making means all sorts of sacrifice. During this time, a mom-to-be can get so focused on making everything perfect for a little one that she can neglect her own health. But a mom who cares for herself is also caring for her unborn child. Here we go. How mom's oral health can be traced to baby's health. A mom's oral health is connected to the health of her unborn baby, and it can all be traced to the bacteria in her mouth. When a pregnant woman has excessive bacterial growth in her mouth, it can enter the bloodstream through her gums and travel to the uterus. So that's during pregnancy, yeah? Triggering the production of chemical called blah 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 that are suspected to induce premature labor. After baby arrives, mom can potentially pass her bacteria onto her newborn, called vertical transmission. So a mom who has a lot of acid-loving bacteria in her mouth will pass higher numbers of those bacteria to her newborn. Brushing teeth can reduce the risk of pregnancy complications. Remember, a mom whose oral health isn't great is more likely to pass aggressive and damaging bacteria to her newborn that can cause trouble down the road. Think about a 2-year-old having a cavity filled. So while eating the right foods, avoiding the wrong ones, and making all sorts of sacrifices to make their baby perfect, mom needs to keep their oral health a top priority. And also make sure your dental provider for regular checkups. All right. Okay, so it sounds to me like the concern is legit, but it's less about the smell and it's more about the amount of bacteria in her mouth. So the fact that she's constantly kissing her child and like blowing in his face, then that could cause him to get some sort of bacterial infection, potentially, or it could actually cause cavities in his teeth. At 14 months, I'm assuming he has a tooth or two, probably not too many though. So, opinion on this article, geez, what, 3 out of 10? Like, I appreciate the concern for the child, but seriously, it seems like a lot of discrimination against people who have halitosis. There wasn't so many options of things you could do about it back then. Like, I just did not think that this was where this article was going. Like, seriously, ugh. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Microfiche time capsule for today. That was a surprise one, a little bit of a left field, yeah, coming out of left field there. And a curveball, that's what I was thinking. I was about to say a left ball, and then it didn't make sense. So, a curveball out of left field. I'm just really glad that this isn't really like a thing today. Like, people saying it's bad for your baby because you have bad breath. Like, they would just recommend some products for you to use, you know, here, have some mouthwash, you know what I mean? Get your teeth professionally cleaned, and then, like, half the problem goes away. Anyways, this is so funny. I don't think that that mother is a bad mother. I think that she's just doing her best, you know? And she really, really loves her baby because it took her a long time to get it. Yeah? Anyway, so if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.